The fastest stroke in swimming now has some legs to stand on. Today we talk about the front crawl kick. A good front crawl kick will allow for a streamlined body position whilst giving you continuous propulsion and therefore creating a constant speed. There are different techniques in the timings of the front crawl kick depending on if you're a short or a long distance swimmer. However, this will be covered at a later date. Although front crawl kick is a very powerful kick and when performed by elite athletes may look extremely fast, studies have shown that the amount of propulsion provided by the kick in elite swimmers is only about 10%. This could be attributed to a few things. Firstly, that the legs can only go a certain depth before causing drag to a swimmer. Once this certain depth is reached, powerful muscles such as the glutes stop engaging. Secondly, the arms in front crawl are so powerful due to the array of major muscles that are being used, and coupling this with the alternating arm movements gives you the strongest arm pull of any stroke, hence why it's the fastest stroke. Now enough talking, let's get on to how to execute this kick. The legs when doing front crawl kick should be as long as possible, so achieve this by sitting on the side of the pool or on the floor. Extend your legs as far as possible and point your toes. Your feet should be arched and will start to cramp up. Don't worry, you won't be doing this whilst kicking. This is just to ensure that you have the flexibility required in your ankles to kick. We'll talk about how to improve your ankle flexibility later in the video. Lean back slightly with your hands on the floor, then relax your legs and ankles slightly and start to kick. Just slowly bubble in the water with your toes. Ensure that your feet don't come too high out of the water and don't allow your knees to bend further than necessary, as this will start to cause drag. Okay, so we can get our legs extended enough, so now it's time to kick. When performing the front crawl kick, the main goal is to ensure that your legs stay high in the water. Do this by engaging your core and your hip flexors. When kicking, make sure that you are kicking from your hips and allow the rest of your leg to have a fluid movement. Your leg should be performing a Mexican wave of sorts that starts from the hips. As your hip raises, your toes should be at their lowest points. As your hip powers down, your toes should be at their highest point. Allow your knees to bend. You may have heard some teachers instruct that your leg has to be as straight as possible, but this is just not the case. Yes, your legs need to be long in the water, yet that slight flick at the end of your kick allows for that last bit of propulsion to be squeezed out of your kick. Relax your ankles and keep those feet high. We want to keep our feet high in the water so that we keep an effective, streamlined position. Relaxing your ankles allows for your feet to plantar flex and dorsiflex automatically, depending on whether you are on the upbeat or the downbeat of the kick. Kick down. The actual propulsion from the kick comes from the downbeat, not the upbeat. So whilst kicking, concentrate on kicking down hard and relaxing back up. We're now going to go through some common faults. Bending at the knee. If you have been used to running and cycling for a long time, then when you get into the pool for the first time and try and do front crawl kick, you will usually be very stiff and kick from the knee as opposed to kicking from the hip. This is due to the aforementioned exercises when the force mainly comes from the strength in your legs and the constant bending and pushing is used to create this force. To help correct this, concentrate on just using your arms in front crawl and allow your legs to slowly trail. Then, slowly perform a light kick in action. Ensure that you're always relaxing your legs because as soon as you speed up your legs, you will revert back to bending your knees. This means that you are not creating much propulsion but expelling a lot of energy in the process. Also, think about kicking from your bottom. This will help engage your hip flexors during the kick rather than engaging muscles surrounding your knees. Flexing at your ankles. There are two types of flexion that you can do with your ankles. The first is dorsiflexion. This is where you lift your toes up to your shin. The second is plantar flexion. This is where you point your foot so that the top of your foot is as flat as possible. Extremes of both will detriment you in your swimming. If, whilst kicking, you perform dorsiflexion with your ankles, this will cause you to start travelling backwards. So unless you've entered a reverse race, this is probably not ideal. This is due to your body catching the water with the top of your foot and in turn pushing the water up to your body, which causes backwards propulsion. There are a few reasons why you may be kicking with dorsiflexion in your ankles, from genetics to lack of understanding. But by far the most common is that people don't have the flexibility in their ankles. This is usually caused by sports that involve a lot of running, such as football and rugby. People that do a lot of running in their sports develop strong muscles in their gastrocnemiae, their calf muscles, and their tibius anteriors, their shin muscles. However, they may not have done the stretches required to keep these muscles flexible. So, if you are struggling with flexibility in your ankle, then perform these developmental stretches on a daily basis. Do ensure that your muscles are always warmed up before you stretch, however. Stand-in calf stretch. Stand facing the wall with your hands on the wall and lunge backwards with one leg. Keep the back leg straight as you lunge, bend your front leg, then with your back foot, push your heel into the ground. If you can already get your heel to touch the floor, then take another step back. You should now start to feel your calf stretch out. Hold this for 30 seconds, then go deeper into the stretch and hold it for another 30 seconds. Stand-in shin stretch. Again, using a wall to support yourself, this time take a slight step back and raise onto your toes with your back foot. Then start to slowly push the top of your foot into the floor until you feel the stretch. Hold for 30 seconds and then increase the stretch and hold for another 30 seconds. With both of these stretches, don't overstretch due to the risk of injury. Excessive plantar flexion isn't as bad for your actual swimming, as it still means you will be travelling forwards. However, it can cause pain in the form of cramps. Plantar flexion for prolonged periods means that you are constantly contracting the muscles in the sole of your foot, which over time will cause severe cramps. To avoid this, don't think about pointing your toes, just allow your foot to relax. Screw kicking. This is where your legs resemble more of a breaststroke type kick. The causes of this are genetics, previous injuries, and disabilities. The way to correct this type of kick is to take out the kick completely. Obviously, taking the kick out of the stroke will cause your legs to sink, so to counter this, get yourself a pull buoy and put it in between your legs, just above your knees. This will cause two things to happen. Firstly, it will mean that your legs will stay afloat, therefore still allowing the streamlined body position required to perform front crawl without drag. Secondly, it allows you to feel how your legs should be performed in front crawl by keeping them close together. Then, as you get used to having your legs in that position, see if you can perform a few kicks without losing the board. If you can, then move on to taking the board out again and start to slowly introduce your kick into your stroke. Pretend that the board is still stuck between your legs, and as soon as you feel like your legs aren't close enough together, revert back to the board. Even though kicking in front crawl only equates to 10% of your overall propulsion, it is an essential part of your stroke as it allows you to keep that streamlined position in the water. I hope that this video will help you perform or be able to teach front crawl kick more efficiently. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to comment down below. If you want to see anything in particular about swimming be covered on the channel, the comments is the place to make your voice heard. Otherwise, I will continue to go through stroke by stroke covering the basics first. Have an amazing day, and I will see you in the next video.